Our top story this morning, rivers around the Chicago area sit well above flood stage, and in many cases, relief won't come until later this week, and that includes many communities along the Des Plaines River. And ABC 7.
The Chicagoland area was ravaged by storm events in April and June of 2013 that caused record flood stages in the Des Plaines River and damage to hundreds of homes and businesses. Based upon historical statistics, storms of this intensity have less than a 1% probability of occurring in any given year. Yet these so-called 100-year events have struck with increased frequency throughout the region in recent years, causing 100-year floods along the Des Plaines River. In 1987 and again in 2008 and 2013, flooding caused extensive damage to residential, commercial, and public structures as well as traffic impacts. In April 2013, the Des Plaines River and other waterways reached new all-time record flood stages. FEMA declared a major flood disaster. As of July 2013, more than 60,000 applications, totaling nearly $150 million in individual disaster relief, were approved across the region. Flood damage from the Des Plaines River watershed extended upstream into Buffalo Creek, where roads, basements, and yards were inundated by the runoff from heavy rains. Regional stormwater agencies and local communities are taking steps to manage stormwater runoff and reduce flood damage. The reservoir at Buffalo Creek Forest Preserve is the main stormwater facility that controls the water levels in Buffalo Creek and the rate at which water is discharged into the Des Plaines River. When the reservoir is full, its water surface rises nearly 12 feet and it holds 750 acre-feet of stormwater. An acre-foot is the volume of water needed to cover an acre of land with water 1 foot deep. The reservoir was originally built in the 1970s to hold and slowly release floodwater from a 100-year storm. However, the heavy rains in both April and June 2013 overtopped the dam and added to the flooding in downstream communities. Plans are underway to expand the reservoir and add another 170 acre-feet of storage. To control flooding, local communities, including the village of Buffalo Grove, have invested in infrastructure to increase the capacity of storm sewers and storage basins to temporarily store stormwater and release it gradually into the streams that feed Buffalo Creek. Darren Monaco, village engineer for Buffalo Grove, describes measures that the village has taken and what local citizens can do to mitigate flood damage.
If you look at the area around me here, there's residential yards, and there's streets, houses, and development, and all of it flows into the storm sewers, and then it flows into storm sewer pipes and makes its way in the White Pine Ditch, and then also into the overflow basin we have here. Part of the way to improve the natural environment of the water that drains in the White Pine Ditch and the various areas all over the town and various communities in Chicago, in fact all the United States and the world, is to help try and reduce the pollutant level and the items and issues of stuff that gets into the stormwater. There's ways to work on that, like in your own yards. You can have rain gardens, native plants, or some of the larger projects, developments, or like the area in the White Pine Ditch. They reseeded it and use a lot of native plants. The native plants will help absorb some of the stormwater, but they'll also have long roots that will have the stormwater travel down the roots and penetrate into the ground. They're helpful for maintaining the soil and holding it together, kind of like an armor, and it'll resist the large stormwater events that come through there, and then it will reduce the amount of soil that's taken off the banks and added to our water systems.
To learn more and find out how you can take steps that Darren has described to reduce flooding and pollution, open the Green Infrastructure tab in the virtual Buffalo Creek site.